Hi everybody, it is Stacey Calder from the Business Success Network and magazine, but you already know that because you will be in one of three places watching this. You will be on our Facebook page, or you will be on my LinkedIn, or you will be in our YouTube channel, which is full of our podcasts and live interviews like this. So I'm really, really pleased to be speaking to this next person. It's a good job we're on at 9:30 because he's just told me that he does his emails in bed in the morning, and I might get told off for telling you that. But I think lots of our audience would have loved to see that bit. Anyway, I'm going to welcome in our overall sponsor, one of our overall sponsors, which is Nathan. Sorry, I had to say it.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah.
Just to embarrass you in the morning. Folks, if you're watching this live, please do drop your comments for Nathan. Drop any questions that you have. There's always questions when we talk about you and debt recovery. So I'm going to be sharing it into the communities as we're talking. And if you're watching it on replay, #replay. So, Nathan, those eagle-eyed viewers that are watching that were there in 2022, because you were overall sponsor in 2022, which we loved. I can't help. I've got to mention the red velvet blaze. I just love that jacket. So you were there in 2022 under a different brand, and you're back for 2024. So you're under your own brand now. Do you want to share a bit about what's been going on in the last couple of years and what's happened with you and that kind of story?
Yeah, sure. I mean, originally I was part of Brielle. I set the business up with Brielle to do some debt recovery, and I wanted to actually then do it myself. I've been doing it 30 years now, so I just wanted to do it my way, make sure that the efficiency and the effectiveness was better by doing it our way. So McQueen was launched. It took a little while to do it, but we're now up and running. We're actually approaching our first year, which has flown by.
That's gone really quick, yeah.
And with over 2 million collected on behalf of customers, so it's going really well. It's going really well. We're there to help people. I wanted to do more direct to business. Brielle was more focused on insolvency collect outs, and I wanted to sort of help the people as more as such, because that seemed to be the inquiries we were getting. And I think being part of a big brand can sometimes scare off those that want help.
Fabulous, yeah. And so we're obviously all about small businesses. Now I know that we've kind of referred people to you. And you always say, there's nothing too small, there's nothing too big. You must have such a wide variety of clients, especially within the small business. But debt recovery is one of those topics where people either need it, or they don't know they need it, or they're a little bit scared of it. So I've networked with you for a while now. It's been over, a few years. And you often used to say, you are not this stab vest wearing, going, kicking doors in.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about what it is that you do and what you can offer small businesses, and how it can really make a difference, because people deserve to get paid, don't they?
They do. And I think you're right. People are scared of passing over to debt recovery agents because of that culture and reputation. You see it too much on TV, of the methods and the madness that they do. We're not like that. We're the marriage counsellor. We're between the customer and the debtor to try and work out what that issue is and why they're not paying. And it can be simple things. It can be the fact there's a general dispute. It can be the fact that they haven't got the ability to pay. So it's working with them to get them in a position where they can actually then afford to pay our client. I think there is this reluctance because people want to be seen to be being fair when it comes to recovering their own cash, and they wait too long. We've had recent situations where somebody's waited nearly 6 months to get paid, and now that company's gone into administration, so they're never getting paid. Whereas if we'd been involved, we could have had that sensible conversation in the middle, and even if it eked out a payment plan over that 6 month period, the client would have been repaid.
I think that's a really good point, actually, because everybody wants to feel like they are, they're trying to help, they're doing it, so they often delay. And I was chatting to someone recently, I'll be careful what I say now, who had said to me, "Oh, I think I need a debt recovery agent." I said, "You need to go and speak to Nathan." and they said, do you know what, I'm gonna work it out. And I said, you need to be careful, because actually if you do this wrong and the rest of the organization see that, you almost come across as a bit, oh well, they're not going to chase it anyway, so we'll just, there is a real fine balance, isn't there? And now actually I know she's going to come back to you, because guess what, number 2 is now trying it on. So it is that thing of, you've got to be careful what you are seen. Nobody wants to be seen as a hard ass, and I'm going to say that because I got called it earlier. It was quite funny. But at the same time, you've got to manage that reputation and your own assets.
Yeah, definitely. And 40% of our clients are people we've collected money from. So we're dealing with it in a professional manner. And sometimes it only takes that little bit of escalation just to say, right, it takes the emotion out of it. So the person that's owed the money is emotional because it's their money, their product's good, their services are good, there's no dispute. Why am I not being paid? The debtor might have another issue, might be the fact that they're not quite happy with the service, or there might be something wrong with the product, or they're having cash flow problems. And that emotion then tends things to butt heads, or people to bury their heads in the sand, either the debtor or the client. Whereas then if we get involved, we can have that sensible conversation to find out what the real cause is. It might be a dispute. It might be the fact they're actually struggling themselves and they're embarrassed to say, whereas they'll tell an independent, because the fact that we're there to gather the facts. And like I said, 40% of our clients are people where we've been instructed to collect money from them. We've got our client paid, and the reason they weren't paying is because they were struggling to collect cash themselves, and then we've been engaged by those clients, those debtors, to collect money from them. So if they were being treated in any unprofessional way, they would never engage us. So they've obviously liked the way they've been approached, it's resolved the situation, and then they've engaged us. So it's just having that. Every phone call that we do, if you want my phone number, it'll be in the chat, I'm sure. I'm happy to talk to anybody about debt recovery and what your options are, even if you want to do it yourself. Because we've got clients that will say that it's being passed over to McQueen, and ultimately it gets them paid. And maybe the 1 or 2 doesn't, and then we have to pick up that call. But we're always happy to have that chat, and it costs nothing. I mean, our service is no win, no fee, so it's free. So it's a no-brainer. Just having that initial conversation doesn't mean that we're suddenly going to talk to the debtor. It might be just, we'll work through your options, let you know what things might cost you in the future, what things to look out for, what to pick up from those customers that are saying why they're not paying. Because it might be they're pushing things along and kicking it down the road because they might be talking to an insolvency practitioner in the background. So they're delaying paying because they're waiting to have those conversations, in which case 6, 8 weeks, 12 weeks down the line, you're not getting paid anyway. So we may as well have that initial conversation.
It is a minefield, and it is, there's so much to think about. And you talked about no win, no fee, and that's another thing that you kind of see on the telly sometimes, and you think there's got to be hidden stuff. So you are, I'm guessing you are massively regulated. There's all that kind of thing, but it is that it's not what you know, it's who you know. It's that no trust. Like I said, we've been networking for years and years now. It is kind of an industry the way you don't think you're going to need it until you need it. And I see it quite a lot. We'll be in Facebook groups, we'll be in business communities, and people are saying, I've not been paid, my invoice is being disputed. You get it a lot with freelancers. For some reason, people think that freelancers don't deserve to get paid. So you see it quite a lot in those groups. The great thing for us is that we see, 8 times out of 10, you need Nathan McQueen, which is great because you're tagging you in. It's just getting you that initial conversation. But a lot of the time you see people just going, yep, just small claims. And I'm guessing you're the bit in between that.
Yeah.
That whole thing. It's a minefield just getting someone to small claims. So you would take that kind of worry and stress away from that, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and not only that, like I said, as soon as you've issued court action, you've postured, you've put somebody into a corner. And if they've got 1 CCJ, they don't mind having a 2nd or a 3rd or a 4th. And all that's happened is that your debt's increased because you've covered those costs. It doesn't mean you're going to recover. And if you have to know the debtor, you have to know, do they own anything? Is there anything that can even be reclaimed? I mean, it's all right getting a judgment against somebody, which has cost you money to do that, but then how are you enforcing it? Because if you're going to send the bailiffs around then do they own anything? All their vehicles leased? Is their offices rented? Are their computers rented? I mean, if there's nothing to reclaim, great, you've got a judgment against somebody and it's ruined their credit, but you're still not getting paid. So, and it might have been avoidable. So that's where we come in. We're a 7 to 14 day process in the middle. We're not delaying the whole process. I mean, the small claims court is 30 days anyway. So you're looking, there's a length of time and there's a process to go through, and it can be pain to do all the documentation. So we're that shake the tree in the middle, have the sensible conversation, find out what the real reason is. Because if it's a disputed case and you've issued action against them, it then becomes a defended case, and then solicitors on an hourly rate to defend that case for you, or you're having to spend time defending your own case, in which case you're spending more and more time and costs out of the business. So it's always good to get a DCA involved, a good reputation, to have those conversations, and then work out what that pinch point is. It may be we've got a button in our system that says can't pay, won't pay, and if it's can't pay, we work out why they can't pay. Is it because they're struggling to get paid themselves? Is there a query? Do they need an accountant? Are they insolvent? And if it's won't pay, then we're all Liam Neeson. We've got a particular set of skills that make us a nightmare for them people. We will have go
like Liam Neeson now.
Liam Neeson, where we do a go after. But it's just working out what that issue is. Sometimes it's a personality clash, so that naturally they butt heads. And if you can put somebody in the middle that's not putting any emotion into it, there's no anger. It's not just because that image of debt collectors getting all stroppy and things like that. It's not that way out. If you bear in mind, our clients are everyone from plumbers through to the big four insolvency practitioners. We wouldn't get work from those if we were damaging their reputation by our methods. So it's having that balance. And a lot of our clients, we actually do an outsourced credit control function. So our collectors are credit controllers as well. So they do the live stuff, the chasing, the normal stuff as the customers. So they've got the skill set to know when to turn it from a collection call into a debt recovery call.
And that's really interesting, isn't it? Because people, especially small businesses, like you say, they haven't got huge teams to go out there and chase those invoices. So, they might have a PA or a VA, and then it like you said, it just gets a bit icky, doesn't it? So having somebody on board, and let's face it, credit control is proactive rather than reactive. It's always best to be proactive out there. So we've had a couple of folks say hello. Gary Jones is watching, and Rachel Hutt, who was on live with me yesterday. So, okay, she said it. So I didn't mention any names. I think I'll be needing you soon. There we go. And this is the thing. This is what I love about networking, about our community, is I think you are possibly the only debt recovery service that I have come across online that actually has a face to the brand. You see, like you say, you see the big corporates, you don't really see the faces behind it. You don't know who you're going to get. You don't know what you're going to get when you ring up. Whereas you are always, you're around, you're very visible. Let's face it, you've been on the cover of the magazine. You're pretty much all over my branding, actually. Even when I pop up a bloody banner, your face appears. So but you are very, very visible. So and I know you like your wine and cheese networking and all that jazz. There we go. Look at this. Paul Newton. Good Lord. Look at the gorgeousness on my screen. That beard, Paul, it's a bit envious now, isn't it? It's took a life of its own.
Branding then.
There you go, Brandon done. Let's talk a little bit about the awards then, because it is your second year back. So 2 out of 3 isn't bad at all. And like we said, that bit in the middle was where you were kind of shifting from one brand to another. So you're now going it, I say alone, you're now set up your own business. What are you excited about for the awards?
It's just reconnecting with everybody that was in that network. Obviously, I've spent some time away because of garden leave and various things, and setting up the business and having to.
And Lego builds, maybe.
Yeah, there's about 300 of them now, so it's getting a little bit. I need an intervention, so that might be an option. But yeah, so I think I'm looking forward to reconnecting with everybody and supporting that network again, because I have been out for a little while. I've been having to sort of reconnect with all those clients in the insolvency world that I was trying to build on before. Yeah, and it's just getting that visibility out there, and it's a great network to be in. I enjoyed the first event. I will be drinking this time, so I'll be enjoying it better.
Yeah,
so
you drove. You did a like Leeds there and back, didn't you? But you are.
I did Leeds and Manchester. I did taxi service as well for was it Dominic?
You did for Dominic. Absolutely. My husband's just whispering in my ear saying, "Let's take some rum." So I think he's very excited that you are gonna, let your hair down or beard down and have a drink. You're bringing some guests with you as well, so it's definitely going to be one for the. It's going to be a night. It's going to be a really good night, and obviously you get to get up on stage. You're going to be interviewed by Dave Sharp again. Yourself and James from 76 Services are our overall sponsors. So we are so grateful, because without you two, it wouldn't be happening, would it? So, well, it would, but wouldn't be as nice. There we go. Is there anyone in the room that you're looking forward to reconnecting with? Is there a type of business that if they're in the room, you want them to come up to you and say, "Hey, this is me. I saw you live." Oh, crikey, Paul Newton's mentioned it. He'll get the Kraken. That's exactly what Mr. C just said. And then a bit of normality from Carrie Ann. Hello. Right. Yeah. Anyone. Right. Back to the question then. Anyone you want to reconnect with that's going to be in the room, or you think is going to be in the room, and anyone new that kind of the type of person that you want to come over and introduce themselves?
I think from the service we offer, I'm looking forward to meeting everybody, because everybody's got that potential to have an issue in the future with, especially now, things are getting tighter. We're seeing businesses starting to struggle a lot more. And it's just knowing when to have that conversation. So I think anyone wants to have a chat. I'm looking forward to meeting everybody. Obviously Mr. Newton and Jamie are high on the priority list, because
don't tell them that.
It's been a while. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to having those conversations. But yeah, I'm approachable. I'm not a scary debt collector. We are there to make sure that everyone else's life is easy. And like I said, we do everything for free. So there's a lot of stuff we give out, advice that we never see return on. But as long as people get paid, that's all we want to see.
There's a lot of man love going on here. Look. Oh, he makes me so happy. Oh, there you go. I bet he doesn't send you waffles, Mr. Newton. I sent him waffles the other day. He put a thing up saying, "I fancy waffles." So I went on Just Eat and found a local restaurant and ordered him waffles. And then he sent me a picture. I was like, I don't want to see him because now I want waffles. Anyway.
I go into Italian restaurants where they then bamboozles everyone with his magic. So yeah.
Yeah, so we had a conversation about Paul. Paul will be at the awards. He'll be talking about, well, he won't be talking. He'll be entertaining us all with his magic and his absolute like mind stuff that just goes bonkers. Morning, Jesse. Are you going to be Paul's +1? No, he sends me alcohol. He does indeed. Look, we've got more coming in now. I got a notification and thought Nathan is just too pretty to miss. This is it. You've shared it somewhere and you've sent a notification, and all the men are like they're coming in. Beard envy, all sorts going on. There we go. What else is there to do on a Tuesday morning but to come and see Nathan and his beard? So you're going to be there. You're going to be networking. There's lots going on. Yeah, you've got like Nathan. You got Jamie. You got Paul. We've got lots and lots of new businesses in the room as well. We've had so many people and so many new categories enter this year. The children's activity provider category had over 40, so there's lots of them in the room. Which, Rachel just said, I think I'll be needing your services soon. So it might be a new industry for you to get into there, Nathan.
Yeah, definitely. It's strange the amount of industries that were coming out of the woodwork now that we see. We're even looking at barristers have come to us to collect their debt. Now, if barristers can't collect their debt, that's a strange situation. But yeah, so everyone's got that. It's coming. There's lots of issues coming.
And I'm trying to keep this sensible when I've got the comments like Mr. Newton saying Mental Theft HQ is ground to a halt because we're all swooning over Nathan. You're getting a whoop whoop from Rachel. I think that was mentioned to the Caps and to Carrie Ann, who runs her own CAPS community as well. Nathan, look, you're being summoned. You should come to the conference. You should absolutely. That's a whole new ball game for you, Nathan. Right. This is Science Educator might need yours. Oh, there you go. Look, there's at least 2 CAPS on here that might need your services. Nathan, I think you better come to the conference at this rate. You'll be cleaning up. Talking about that, though, you mentioned something about it's getting tough out there. It's getting tough. I've said for a while now, on a few lives, that it seems to be tougher now than COVID, because I think everyone had that, oh my God, it's going to be really hard during COVID, but there was the bounce back loans, there was all this kind of thing. And then it's almost like you've had that, you've now had cost of living, you've got all the Ukraine stuff. It just seems to be one thing after another chipping away at businesses. Yeah. Do you think that it's kind of getting to the point now where people are tired of kind of fighting all this stuff, or is it tougher now than it was at the back end of COVID, or is it just me imagining these things?
I think it is, because there were so many schemes, wasn't there? There was like bounce back loans, there was C-bills, there was time to pay on the VAT and things like that. So people, it was kicking the can down the road, which it needed to obviously for the business to survive during that period of time. But all of that type of stuff now is coming repayable, and interest rates and things and cost of living, they're all impacting in their own little way. So everything is just one more straw on that camel's back before it breaks. Yeah. And that's where I'm saying that people need to be careful, because a lot of businesses are actually then seeking professional advice on how to get rid of all these overhanging debts that they've got. So it may be that you're dealing with somebody you've dealt with for 5 years, 10 years, that now in a completely different situation. So they've always paid you, but now they're actually struggling. They've got a load of debt in the business that they need to get rid of, and they're having conversations with people to actually do that. And therefore, your debt isn't going to be a priority if they're looking to pop the business. So the conversations you had 2 years ago, or the clients you had 2 years ago, are completely different clients now, even if you're dealing with the same people. So it's just to be wary of that. Personal relationships tend to get involved, they get in the way of actual, maybe sensible business conversations.
Yeah, and I mean, people do, don't they? Especially in the small business world, your clients become your friends, etc., and it can be really tough because you want to help them, but obviously, ultimately, you need to be paid, and that's where you come in. So, Nathan, we have chatted for 22 minutes. I said that we would be around 20 minutes. I could talk to you all day. I think your fan club definitely could talk to you all day. You've stopped one company from working because they've both been sat on here admiring your beard and talking about Kraken. And you've got a new fan club from the children's activity provider industry, clearly. So maybe you need to check your diary for the 31st of May and see if you can get to Villa Park, because by the sounds of it, you're needed.
I'll have a look.
I'm really excited to see you at the awards. It's been far too long since we've properly seen each other. As we said, if people want to know, where can they find you? Where can they get hold of you?
So I'm on LinkedIn. They can email me, nathan@mcqueenpartnership.com, or they can give me a call on my mobile. Like I said, I'm happy to chat to anybody regards to any questions they've got, any issues, even if they are considering to going down the small claims route, just have a sensible conversation beforehand.
I'm loving that you're saying sensible. And even my husband started now. Look, Paul Newton, what a beard it is. Rachel, yes, I did manage to sneak the conference talk in again, in amongst all the beard talk. Crikey me. Here's me trying to do a sensible interview with one of our experts. You are our BSN expert for credit control and debt recovery. Nathan, it's always a pleasure. I can't wait to catch up. There will definitely be some sort of Prosecco or fizz or something that we need to get together and have. There you go. Well, I'm going now because Paul Newton's starting a fan club, and I'm just very jealous that I have not got my own fan club yet. So there we go. Folks, that's it for us today. If you want to get hold of Nathan, please do go and find him on any of the links. Nathan, you're really, you're welcome to come and drop your links on here as well. Other than that, he is in the Business Success Network UK Facebook group. He is one of our experts in there. He's well known for dropping a Top Gun meme, a Maverick meme, something like that. Maybe even a Lego picture every now and again, because he is slightly addicted to Lego as well. No, Jessie, you haven't started the Stacey fan club yet. Right, I am going to go because it's turning into carnage. Nathan, thank you very much. I hope that all this ends up with lots of people messaging you, not just about Lego or your beard.
Right.
I'll speak to you all very soon.
Thanks a lot. See you soon. Thanks a lot.